if you look up daily life in DPRK, right, this is one of the first and newest videos that comes up, part of mainstream media, and it plays into this narrative. And so we're going to hear, pay close attention to the background music that they use, because that really sets the tone for the rest of the video.
Ever seen. As we head inside the world's most secretive state at a time of unprecedented tension. Who is the enemy?
American Yankees.
American Yankees. To visit a place like that, it was almost a bit of we'll just have a go and ask if we can come in one day, assuming that they'd say no. And I literally heard...
He looks like such an asshole.
Nearly 2 years.
The short, he's afraid of kids. Just play video games.
Right.
American kids do that too.
Oh yeah, we finally found your application to come to North Korea. Yep, you can come in for a week to Pyongyang. And I honestly thought it was a stitch up. An ever-present team of minders carefully monitors our every move on a highly orchestrated tour led by government official Ju Jong-hyuk.
The problem is that most of the Western people have no idea what is going down here. They don't know the reality of our country.
North Korea wanted us to see only what they wanted us to see. You know, there was no chance for us to...
They cut that guy off.
Streets.
Yeah,
we turn up in most cities
they
in
did.
the world. We can go for a walk, and if we want to shoot something down the road, we go and shoot it. If we want to go and talk to someone on a corner, no problem.
Kids
in North Korea,
smiling.
You basically
how
put
is
on a
this
bus,
scary?
they drive you to a
They're on a
location,
field
say
trip.
get out.
Right.
You've got 15 minutes to film here. Get back on the bus, and then you're not allowed to film, drive you to a new location. Okay, you can film this, get back on. We weren't under any illusions that this wasn't some sort of propaganda tour. We're on our way 200 kilometers east to the city of Wonsan, a bumpy 5-hour
Oh, that piano
journey.
note.
The piano.
That's key, that
And
one
dark.
piano note right there.
We stopped briefly at a coffee shop where the walls are plastered with pictures of North Korean missile launches. They were trying to show North Korea as very much a progressive and happy country, and for us it was trying to, where we could, peek through the cracks and actually see behind the facade of what really goes on in North Korea. No
Yeah,
matter
kids
how
working out.
old or young,
Yeah.
everyone here marches to the beat of the
It's called
regime.
sports.
Yeah. Look, family values.
Right.
Seeing nothing. We can interpret what we see and try and explain
Nothing
to our
this is
viewers
threatening.
the different lay of
Right.
the land over there. North Korea is genuinely still one of those frontier locations that people really have no idea what goes on behind the curtain. What are you teaching these boys? Do you teach them the technique?
I teach guerrilla warfare,
Yeah.
tactics Kim Il-sung used to vanquish the Japanese army.
What's striking
Pretty
is
cool.
that the children
pretty awesome.
also
Yeah.
see these games as practice for war. What do you like about this
What's Call of Duty? Like,
Call of Duty, exactly.
So you dream this is an American that you're shooting?
CNN did the same segment with a different guy.
It's just a copy and paste segment.
Yeah.
It was at the height of the nuclear missile standoff between North Korea and America, and you know, tensions were high before we'd even set foot there. From my perspective, the thing that scares a lot of people is the fact that you are now armed with nuclear weapons.
I think that
So is the U.S. and Israel.
none of them, no threat at all. But there is one threat. It is one threat in the world. It is from
America.
not DPR Korea, but from Donald Trump. So I think that we must get rid of this threat. We must get rid of Donald Trump, I think.
I think there was more tense moments there than I've got fingers on my hands. Wonsan is one of the regime's key missile test sites. Almost
You hear the
40
music?
have been fired from this area.
like James
as
Bond
North
level
Korea,
stuff.
or DPRK, develops its capability to strike targets around the world. They are still at war. No peace treaty has ever been declared between North Korea and the Western powers on the other side. So they basically...
So that's some of the clip.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
you hear some of the music, right? It's like this weird. I like
Yeah.
Comrade Big Teal mentioned it too. He's like that one piano key. It's
Yeah,
like,
that was the most poignant note for me there. You know, actually, I felt like the most intense part of the clip, and you know, I have someone before who's listened to a lot of like heavier music and stuff like that, and often the most intense parts of songs aren't where things are going the hardest, but when there's kind of that in between space, there's a bit of a
right.
slow down time for tension. And I felt like that in his bus ride. It's like this tension, like you're not seeing anything, it's just countryside, but you're wondering like what lies beyond mass graves, and like that's
Right.
like it's alluding that there is something horrific beyond the horizon that he can't see. It's almost like that's basically what this is. It's trying to fill the imagination. You can't even see anything bad, but it's
Right.
trying to give the inclination that there is something bad that we're not seeing, that's outside of the blinders of the tour that they're being given.
Exactly. And it's designed, that music is designed to instill like anxiety within you,
Yeah.
to like to feel on edge, right? Like, oh my God, what's gonna happen next? What's gonna, what's gonna pop up? I don't know. It's like a scary movie, and just like the way I think you raised a good point as well during the clip. Like they just totally cut off the guy as he was speaking. They never show Kim Jong-un like talking for himself. They never show, and it's like they say things in a way that like they're technically true, but it's like duh. Like for example, when they're like, these children are practicing to shoot troops in this video game. Ooh,
Right.
and it's like, oh my God. But then it's like, wait a second, we do that in the US, Call of Duty, like you said.
Yeah, way more
and in
graphic.
Canada. And and in those games, there's scenarios that designed to like kill like people in other countries as well, right?
Yeah, like it really, those games, like I never liked those games even when I was younger. I think there's one game where you can actually play as the Soviets and fight the Nazis, and that's pretty based. I'm actually surprised they even allowed that plot line. But then they're like all those modern warfare ones, it's all just imperialist propaganda. It's and it's to brainwash kids to thinking this is cool that you're doing action hero stuff. And speaking of action heroes, at the end of that clip, it was trying to portray Kim Jong-un like if anyone's ever seen a Bond movie, which are super cringe, but if anyone's seen Bond, that oscillating sound of like the tension like ratcheting up, it's like trying to portray him like a Bond villain, and that like back and forth wobbly sound, like it really is meant to like say like he's about to unleash his plan to destroy the world or something.
Right. And even like the imagery, like the children, like that image of the children exercising in a group and wearing the same outfit and doing the same moves, that's designed to reproduce this racist stereotype about Asians being brainwashed, about being just like thinking the same and homogenous. They're not creative individuals, they're not like
Alex Jones. I remember he was pushing for this like xenophobic like hive mind theory or some wild stuff like that, right? Whereas really it's just kids that got good coordination because they're getting healthy, they're getting physical education, and America is just not used to that, unfortunately.